Good morning, everyone. It's an early morning today. It is the 19th of March, 2021. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We are going to take a look at our good friend S&P. We're going to take a little bit of a look at Bitcoin. We're also going to take a look at the S&P 500. NASDAQ. NASDAQ. We're going to take a look at NASDAQ as well. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You just happen to be responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. I'm just always just giving my opinion on the market. I'm happy to share it with you. And we're going to go ahead and move over into the S&P. This is going to be kind of an interesting session that we're going to be doing today. So typically what we'll do is we'll just kind of do just a little Elliott wave analysis and just kind of move on. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking a look at our waves indicator. I'm going to take a look and see what we had show up yesterday, which is something that we don't see too often. So this is going to be something kind of new for these types of videos at least. So let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. Okay, so moving in here. All right, so first off, this is quad witching, right? So this is the the third Friday of March. The quad witching happens in March, September, December, and June. So March, June, September, December, the third Friday of the month. So with that, we've got that happening today. And the very interesting thing, and we just found this out on the Discord, is Max Pain today is actually at what was it, 393? So with Max Pain at 390, Max Pain is 395. So taking a look at this, kind of making some adjustments, Max Pain is going to be somewhere right around here. This is going to be Max Pain for today. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to remove this guy. Right, so Max Pain is right here. So this would lead me to believe that it's possible that we actually move up, which is going to be, quite interesting. So I've got to take a look at this and determine whether or not we've actually made a good 5-wave structure down. Because in order for us to make a move up, in my opinion, we need to actually complete that structure down. We need to complete 5 waves down. And the big question is, has that happened? All right, so taking a look at this, the larger count, right? So I've made some adjustments. I've got a 1, 2, which I don't like, right? I don't like this. This doesn't look healthy. 3, 4, and then going up into 5, and then potentially an expanded flat. So A, B, C down here. And then that C, this is what I want to dig into. Do we have a 5-wave structure down from there? Well, I think it's pretty easy to see that we've got, a little 1, 2, a larger 3, 4, no overlap, and then potentially we have come down here for the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete that C wave. So this is a valid move down, which leads me to believe maybe we have bottomed, and potentially what I'm going to be likely getting into this morning is, let's just take a look at this. Did we get down to the 50? Yeah, no, actually we came down to the 618. Would you look at that, the 618. So now that we see this, I'd say that more than likely that move down to basically 389, 390, it's probably going to be the bottom, at least for the time being. And just taking a look at this 3-hour, this guy is oversold. Taking a look at the hourly at the end of the day yesterday, right? So this is actually into the midnight hours. We were in a buy area. Now, I didn't buy at the end of the day yesterday, which was like right here, right? So we sold off into the end of the day. I didn't get out of that trade, or sorry, not get out of the trade. I didn't get into a long position down here because at the time it looked really bad, but given a couple hours, we had that 3-hour get down here. This still actually looks pretty good. And actually, we take a trade right here, we have literally a 0.41% chance of loss here, but if we do make our way up there, there's 0.77%. If you're playing SPXL, well, there you go. You've got a chance for basically almost a 2.3, 2.4% gain, and you're really risking like 1.2%, which is not terrible, right? And so we have to kind of wait for the day to open. We don't know where this is going to open, but your stop loss is definitely going to be at these lows over here, right? Having these stop losses down here, it's going to work out. One thing that I do want to take a look at, I'm going to take a look at SPX, the index, and really what I'm interested in, and somebody was doing this on the Discord yesterday. So obviously you can see day before quad witch, we had a big drop here. All right, so I want to take a look at, well, we're not going to talk about last March because we know what happened last March. Well, you know what? Actually, we're going to do it. We're going to take a look at last March, right? So that would have been March 20th. What happened March 20th? 18th, 19th, 20th. All right. So this was quad witch last March. All right. Obviously, we had a huge decline before then. The day after, we had a drop, and then that was basically the bottom. That was the bottom. The day after quad witch was the bottom. Now we had a drop on March 20th. We had a push down the following day, and then we had a big gap up the next day, right? So push down on quad witch, gap down the day after, so the Monday after, so this was March the 23rd, and then we had a big gap up. So this was Monday, this was Tuesday. This was the bottom, the day after quad witch. All right, what's the significance here? Well, the day before, so on the 8th, sorry, we need to look at the 19th right here, right? What happened on the 19th? We just kind of moved sideways. We didn't really do a whole lot. The 20th, we had that drop. Now, this time around, we had the drop the day before, and today, it looks like we actually want to move up a little bit based on what we've got here. So what happened on the next quad witch, which would be June the 19th. Let's take a look at June the 19th. Okay, 17th, 20th, here's the 19th right here. So what happened? The day before, 18th, right there, moved sideways, didn't do anything. Then we had a big gap up and a pullback on quad witch. Okay, so in March 2020, we had the pull down, and then the next day we had a drop, right? Whereas on this case, we had the drop, and then we had more sideways into the next day, and then we had that pull down a couple days later. Okay, so far we're 2 for 2. After quad witch, we see that pull down, but on quad witch, not a serious amount of volatility. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. So that was June. So we need to look at September the 18th. That's the third Friday, September the 18th, 16th, 17th. All right, so on the 17th, gap down, and then the 18th right here, push down. The following day, drop. It's 3 for 3. Day after quad witch or shortly after quad witch, we had a drop. All right, so that's a drop after quad witch. All right, so what's our range of motion here? I'm really actually kind of interested in this. What's our range from this low to this high? It is an 82 point, from this high to this low, 82 points. That's interesting for a different reason. And actually, I need to go back and take a look at, so that was September. Let's take a look at June 19th here really quick. I'm gonna be really quick about this. June 19th, right? So right here, this low to this high, we had a range of 78.5. All right, so less than 100 on both of those. And then let's take a look at March. Right here, we're going to go from this low here to that high there. That was a lot, 187 points, but we were in the middle of a free fall at that point, so I would expect there to be a lot of volatility. All right, so now let's take a look at December. That would be December the 18th. December 18th. Am I looking at that right? I am. Okay. December 18th. Okay, here we are. December 18th, we're basically the day before. The 17th, sideways. The 18th, a little bit of a drop. The day after, a fall. So that is every single quad witching in 2020. either the day after or shortly thereafter, we fall. Okay, so on quad witch, right, we had a drop and then we had a big spike up in December, right? So, and actually the volatility in December wasn't all that crazy. We only had, a 40 point move. Now what do we have here? Well, I mean, in my opinion, it looks to me like, we dropped almost 60 points yesterday. I don't believe we're actually going to have that amount of volatility this time around, which is pretty important. So we are taking special plays as sort of like a beta test inside of our Insured Plus, which I only have a couple people in there that are testing this out with me. And I didn't think that today was going to be a good day for these special plays, but the more I look at this, the more I think we're actually going to be pretty stable today. I actually think we're probably going to be pretty stable today. And then if we do see a drop, I think it's going to happen next week. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I don't think it's going to happen today. I don't think we're going to have a big drop today. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into NASDAQ. How does this correlate with NASDAQ? All right, so we had our drop down where we were expecting a move down, and we're actually lower than where I was expecting. I was taking a look here at the 382. But NASDAQ went right here to the 50, all right? So now we're going to make some adjustments, right? So we're down here at the 50. This doesn't look terrible, right? So let's just adjust these guys, right? So I really haven't been moving this around too much, but nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that last move. Very possible that we bottomed out on here as well. And take a look at NASDAQ. This also has bottomed out. So am I going to get into some TQQQ? Well, let's just take a look and see what my risk profile shows. All right, so you're talking about risking 3%. But your upside, if we completed the 1, 2, if this is actually the completion of wave 2, well, your upside potential is actually pretty good. Even if you just take it that negative 236, it's 15% potentially. For a 3% risk, 15% gain, that doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad. All right, so we've got lots of potential here. And I think this could be a decent play. This could be a decent play. So this is just me telling you, this might be what I do, right? I'm not going to push any buttons for you, but I think the risk to reward here is pretty good. Now, do I think NASDAQ is going to perform the same way that the S&P does? No. I've said for the last probably month at this point, NASDAQ has been weaker than the S&P. The S&P has been weaker than Dow Jones. Money is going to rotate. So if S&P is going to go down, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if NASDAQ either kind of remains sideways or ticks up a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me a little bit if NASDAQ eventually at some point starts to inverse what the S&P does and tries to recover even more. Actually, let's just take a look and see what max pain is on QQQ. So 21,319 max pain for the Qs today, and then we're going to go to the Q chart. We're at 316, so let's take a look at Q. The Qs at 316. Let me remove this. This is old. Okay, so actually I haven't taken a look at this in a while. All right, so if we're taking a look at 316 for max pain, that's like right here, right? So we went down to 312, 316. So again, we're already gapping up, and it looks like we want to move up just a little bit more. I would venture to assume there are probably a lot of people that got puts yesterday, and they're going to hold those puts because they have high degree of confidence that those puts are going to continue to print because they think, hey, it's quad witching. The price is going to do nothing but go down. But as we just saw, it's really after quad witch where things drop significantly, right? So I would be more interested in getting puts for next Friday, not today. I especially wouldn't play any 0 days to expiration on puts or even calls rather today, because theta is going to be your worst enemy right now. But even the Qs look like it wants to move up. So how does that correlate to NQ? Well, again, here's the gap up. We're looking for a move up to probably 13,000 to 13,100. So I still think we're going to get a little bit of a move up today. Now what happens tomorrow, maybe we do get the move down to the 618, right? So this 2 could be down here, right? So maybe this is just ABC, then we do the ABC and then ABC. Maybe we move ourselves down here to the 618. Very possible that that happens, right? But for right now, at least for the day, I would say that we are probably going to see some upward movement. And more than likely, because of the volatility we had yesterday, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of volatility into today. A little bit of upward, probably some chop, but probably not the high volatility play that you would expect. Again, a lot of options were probably opened yesterday, and they're going to be decaying at a rapid rate today. So that's what they want you to do. They want you to FOMO into options, not close them out, and then the price isn't going to move. So you're going to watch your profit more than likely, right? So this is just a hypothesis. More than likely, just a little bit of decay. But now what is Bitcoin doing? So now that we've taken a look at the S&P, we've taken a look at NASDAQ, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because the chart on Bitcoin looks much different. It looks much, much different. I'm going to move down here to a 15-minute chart. All right, because we were watching this guy. So we had this 4 down here. I believe the 5 already played out. So here's the 5. All right, so this guy right here, this was our bearish count. All right, so we have the 1 down here. We've got the 2 up here. Now, are we in a corrective move? I would actually be interested in shorting Bitcoin because we've got a 1, 2, a potential for a 1, 2. Man, this chart looks awful. Let me just clean this up a little bit, guys. Sorry about this. Because I think I've actually got 2 different things that are going on that have caused a little bit of mess on my chart. So let me remove these guys, remove that, remove this. I'm going to remove this guy down here. Okay, so if we do happen to see this guy reject from here, you know, this is really, really interesting, and I hope you guys are paying attention here. I know not everybody is really interested in Elliott wave, but this is too good here. All right, so from the top, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if we have from the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, A, B, C, up here into the 2. Okay, now where's my C? I gotta find my C. Here it is. I gotta move him back up there because that's where he belongs. All right, we're gonna put him on a slightly higher degree because that's where he belongs. He belongs on a higher degree here. So we're gonna put him up there. We've got our ABC into wave 2, which is now really has kind of turned into my primary account here. So then what do we have? Well, we have a correction right into this guy. A, B, C. Potentially that's the top. I'm more than likely going to want to take a little bit of a short position right around here. Right around here, potentially a short with a stop loss right here at the end of this. So what kind of a retracement do we have? From the top to the bottom, we've got our 2 dominant pivots. Did we get to the 887? Let's just take a look and see. Did we get to the 887? Probably got to the 786. Yeah, actually we got right to the 786. The 887 is still going to be sitting there at about 59,640. So looking at this, doesn't look like too bad of a short attempt, right? So we're going to flip this guy. We're going to inverse him. Now for this, right there at that 786, if you can get it to 786, you're going to stop loss on the other side of this guy, which is 1.41%, which is it's kind of a lot. But your downside, right? So let's just assume for a moment that we have topped out on Bitcoin. Now I don't know if we have, but at least to move down into this wave C, you're going to be looking for a significant move down. We're going to take our trend-based fib extension, move it from that top dominant pivot to this bottom dominant pivot right here, and then we get the pullback. Pullback right there. You're going to be looking for this guy to move all the way down. Let's put the 1618 on here. Right all the way down here at 46. 46. So if this works out, look at that rate of return. You're taking a look at a 22% gain from up here if this short does happen to work out. And so far, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. This looks like a correction. This looks very corrective here, which leads me to believe we're going to be going down some more. Now, is this a 1, 2 going into the 3, which has a target down here of 46? Or is this an A, a B, and we're going to go down for the C? Still could be a 5, 3, 5. Well, even then, you're looking for a move down to 51 or 49, 5. Still, there's downside here. I believe we're likely going to come down here to 51.5 to 49.5 or to this level down here at about 46.2. I can put the 175 on here. 175 is something that has been showing up more and more on traditional assets. So let me take this 1618 and turn it into the 175. All right, 175 is going to be sitting right there. Again, we're seeing that at about 45,000 right on the dot, right? So even if you take profits off the table, take 25% at 100, 25% at 123.6, 25% at 1618, leave that last 25% in just in case, right? Set a stop loss, right? Because if you get in here, right? If you get in here and the price is all the way down here, you would be a fool to lose money on that trade if this trade works out. And that 25% runner, eventually you're going to stop loss on it, right? But if this thing does make its way down to the 2618, right? Let's just throw the 2618 on here. And there you are. We're going to change the color on this guy because I want him to be a slightly different color. All the way down here at 37,663. Are we going to see prices all the way down there? Well, it's very, very possible, right? So we've got this 3, 4, and then that 5. And again, we were talking about this late March, early April. I'm going to remove this guy. He's not really that valid anymore. All the way down here, wave 5, all the way down here, late March to early April. This is still on here. This text, if you've watched any of my videos, you know it's been there for a while. So 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, and then 5. That would be significant if that happened. But it would also be a valid correction. I don't believe it's going to go this low, just for the record. Just for the record, because it looks to me like we're an expanded flat, which means we've got this A, B, and then this C is probably going to stop down here, which is why I'm only interested in bringing this guy all the way down to about 45. And I'd be interested in buying there. I would be interested in buying there. But I could see this guy rolling down here while traditional markets either just kind of hang out, or maybe these markets are completely correlated, and maybe we do see the traditional markets just collapse. We're going to have to wait and see. But for right now, I'm interested in taking a short on Bitcoin and taking a conservative long on traditional assets. That's what I've got for you this morning. I don't see any comments in the chat asking for me to take a look at anything in particular. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the video now. If this video did help in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff, and we'll see you on the Discord. If you need access to the Discord, there's a link in the video description, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.